You know, it's been hard for me, man. It's hard for me right now. It's harder now than it ever has been because I'm not young anymore and I need, you know, some surgeries. I got some medical issues. And so I'm not as healthy and strong as I used to be. So, you know, right now it's really real. Being an ex-convict, starting your life all over again.
At 42 years
At
old.
42 years old with no money, you know, basically since I've been released, 12, 13 days now, I've had the same pants, underwear, and shirts on. But it's real.
I'm sitting here with a good friend of mine by the name of Dave. This is a guy that I served time with while I was in prison and somebody that I know fairly well. While locked up, I mean, this is one of the nicest people that you could have ever met on the inside. Unfortunately, Dave has been through a lot of things, and since prison, since coming home from that, he found himself locked up again. He would serve 2 more years in a city jail since coming home from prison. And you've actually just been released December 30th.
That's correct.
Would you talk to us a little bit about the story leading up to why you found yourself locked up again for another 2 years?
Well, it's funny you should ask. I was out driving one night in my fiance's vehicle, and I was pulled over by Norfolk police. And I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't committing any crime. At this particular time, I happened to have been off my medication for like 10 days. I was switching over from Anthem Blue Shield to Gap Insurance. And, you know, so I'm paranoid schizophrenic, I'm bipolar, manic depressive, and I have my moments. And having been incarcerated for a majority of my life, almost 20 years, when the police get behind me and try to pull me over, I get nervous, I get scared. I had a slight panic attack. And I went about maybe two, 3 blocks before I actually pulled over. And the police officer asked me, well, why did I run and this, that, and the other? I said, well, why did you pull me over? And they said, oh, because your lights were off. And I said, no, this vehicle has automatic lights. You know, the kind of car we had, the lights come on automatically at dusk. So there's never a situation where the lights aren't gonna be not cut on. And so I was charged with eluding the police, which therefore violated my parole, which led to my 24-month incarceration in the city jail.
Now you say you deal with a lot of medical issues, bipolar, paranoid schizophrenic,
Yeah.
And being someone who has served so much time, been in so much trouble in your life, it's a natural reaction to get scared when you see the police, and also because of the fact that you were off of your medication. Yeah. You said you just panicked and you eluded them, you ran from the police for 2 blocks, something along those lines, and then you pulled over. But was there anything in the car? Were you dealing with any kind of addictions? Were you on drugs? Was there any reason for you to be scared of getting pulled over?
And that's what the judge was trying to figure out. He said, wait a minute, there wasn't anything illegal in the car. It wasn't in the commission of a crime. What's the deal here? You know? Unfortunately, because my record was so bad, at the minimum that I could get was 2 years. So that's all the judge could do. You know, and so what they told me was that even though I wasn't committing a crime, and even though they illegally pulled me over, once you don't pull over for the police, it's automatically a commission of a crime that you can't.
There's nothing they can do about it. Now, when you went to court, there were people who came in your defense to talk for you. Can you talk about who you had come to court, doctors, anybody like that who tried to verify the fact that, you know, you do suffer from these medical conditions?
Yes, of course. You know, the court, the Commonwealth and the judge was made aware by my attorney of my various mental health issues and my mental health history. And, you know, I had, of course, my fiance came and they spoke up for me, and my psychologist.
You had your doctor there?
Yeah, I had my doctor there. or a representative actually. It wasn't an actual doctor, but a representative. And the judge said that because of that, that he'll give me the low, which was 2 years, and that he ordered me that when I get upon my release, which right now I'm released, that I stay on my medication, which of right now I'm getting ready to run out of in 2 days, and I have no health care.
It's just an unbelievable situation to think that a person who suffers from medical problems finds themselves in the situation that you did. You were doing nothing wrong until you actually ran from the police. And because of that, that leads to you doing 2 years in the jail.
Yeah, well, you know, Joe, it doesn't take much. Once you have a record, it doesn't take much to go back.
Absolutely.
I mean, you could go back for jaywalking for a couple years.
Would you talk to me about what your life was like before getting locked up for these 2 years, after you came home from prison, where me and you first met each other at? Talk to me about what was going on in your life. Were you working? Were things relatively stable for you? Or were there problems?
There were problems. The first problem was, like you, I had just served 7 years. And of which I served 7 years for petty larceny, third offense, and a violation of probation for unauthorized use of a vehicle.
So some relatively minor charges.
Right, I did 7 years for that.
But because of the extensiveness of your criminal history, you know, obviously
Yeah.
that played a major part in why
Right,
you
because
received the
when I
time.
was 17 and 18, I did some robberies and some serious crimes of that nature, and I've been paying for it ever since.
And how old are you now?
I'm 42.
Were you working before you were incarcerated for these 2 years?
Yes.
Were you dealing with any type of addiction during that time?
I did relapse a couple times.
And
But
what was the drug that caused you to relapse?
cocaine.
So from the time that you were released from prison, how long were you out before you ended up serving these 2 years?
About 2 years.
So you had made it for about 2 years. You were dealing with some bouts with addiction still. Talk to me about what that was like for you, dealing with those relapses. Were you trying to avoid the drugs as much as you possibly could and just found yourself in situations where it made it easier for you to do them? Or was it because of the stress that you were dealing with, trying to still readjust back out here after serving so much time? What do you think was the underlying cause for why you were relapsing?
You know, at this point in my life, I don't know if there's an underlying cause. I've came to the realization that, you know, people, places, and things aren't a whole lot. When
You say that doesn't play that much of a role in it?
No, not for me. Because I don't have to be around anyone. I don't have to be in any particular place to want to get high.
It's just that thought comes to your mind.
I've been all over the country. I've been all around. I know where I can find something to get high at when I want to get high.
So it's just a willpower issue.
Yeah, it's just a matter of making the right choice. One right choice at a time. Now, bouncing around, not having a stable place, not having family support, I'm not going to lie to you, it does affect you. You know, it's been hard for me, man. It's hard for me right now. It's harder now than it ever has been because I'm not young anymore and I need, you know, some surgeries. I got some medical issues. And so I'm not as healthy and strong as I used to be. So, you know, right now it's really real. Being an ex-convict, starting your life all over again.
At 42 years old.
40 years old with no money, you know, basically, you know, thank God I do have a place to lay my head at this time. But since I've been released, 12, 13 days now, I've had the same pants, underwear, and shirts on. But it's real.
I need to say this first and foremost before we go any further. Where we're at right now is not where you live at.
No, absolutely not.
We are actually at Dave's ex-fiance's home right now, who you were no longer with, but has still remained a good friend to you, yes, and has been trying to help you as much as she can. But again, this is not where you live at.
No, absolutely not.
And where Dave lives at is just the most unbelievable place you could ever imagine to find yourself at. It is a place that I hope we're able to show you, because I want to show just how real it can be to come home to virtually absolutely nothing, to a situation that is almost destined to put you right back where you've spent so much of your life at.
That's right.
How do you keep yourself positive dealing with everything that you're dealing with right now? What's the one thing, if anything, that keeps you pressing forward, waking up every single day and just trying to do the most that you can?
Well, you know, one of the first things I said to you when I saw you in the stairway there, Joe, was I said, man, you know, someone's got it worse. And so, now I'm not gonna lie, I do complain and I do get discouraged. But at the same time, I realize that even though I'm not the best of health, I'm not in the worst. And it was 16 degrees outside yesterday. I was out there waiting on the bus. And when I got home to that raggedy little place I live in, it was wonderful because it was warm. It might have smelled terrible, it might have been filthy, you know, but it was warm, and I was grateful to have a place to lay my head and a place to go and call home, especially feeling the way the weather was yesterday. So I do my best to stay encouraged. I even try to encourage other people. You know, matter of fact, that I just got hit up on Facebook by a couple guys we know, and they're discouraged. And I mean, like, they got family support. You know, they got a whole lot going for them.
They're doing better than you, essentially.
Right, and they're feeling down and out, and I'm trying to encourage them. You know, so and I, you know, not really trying to explain to them really what I'm going through, and I'm just trying to make them feel better. But you know, it's real out here, man. And I'll tell you, it takes some intestinal fortitude. If I did not spend the amount of time I did in prison empowering myself, trying to learn about myself, trying to build up spiritually, mentally, you know, trying to do some things physically, studying history, studying culture, studying people, studying substance abuse. And, you know, man, prison is like a college, man. It can be a college for you. And I did take time to study my own behavior and try to understand what this life is about and why it works the way it works. And I think that's a large part of why I'm still able to stay encouraged today.
So it wasn't so much what prison offered you, it was more so having the time to just reflect upon yourself and to learn on your own.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if no place else, a man should find some time while he's incarcerated to do some reflection and to try to do something to better himself in some way, form, or fashion. I mean, I think that anybody can do that at any given time, but especially if you're doing some time. Now, you know, me and you, we both know guys, they bullshit around their whole bid. The next thing you know, it's time for them to go home. It ain't a damn thing changed for them.
Some of them even died.
Yeah.
Dave, you had mentioned at the very beginning of this that you came home December 30th. It's only been a couple of days since then, and you're still wearing the same pants, boxers, and shirt that you were released in. I myself, after Prison Show, want to do as much as I and we can to help you try to get back on your feet. It's a messed up situation to come home with nothing, and I can't stand to see that. I can't stand to see that at all. So again, we're going to help you, but talk to me a little bit about any kind of help that you may be getting or trying to get right now.
You know, obviously, when you get out, you're eligible for TANF, for food stamps, emergency food stamps. So I'm in the process of receiving that. You used to be able to get it upon you showing your release papers. You used to be able to get it the same day. It's not like that now. Now it's a little process, so I don't know how long it'll be. The other day, me and my mom were stuck in there and we had no food, and we reached out to a church out in Virginia Beach, and they actually delivered the food to the apartment.
Wow.
So we actually got food to eat now. And I had got a pack of socks too. And so at another church, they're trying to find some size, you know, I'm a little big fella. So they're trying to find me some size 50 underwear, stuff like that. There's a couple other organizations that have clothing closets. It's just, you know, with me being, you know, 6'2", 350, it's just hard for me to find, you know, my size clothes. I wear a size 15 shoe, you know, so it's just been difficult. There are some organizations out there you can get clothes from a little easier. It's just hard with my size. Um, but the transportation system and the snowstorm we had, it's just been really difficult. But I definitely do have all the lists of all the organizations, stop organizations, second chances, Salvation Army, Goodwill, ORC. I'm just definitely doing my best to take advantage of what other programs that there is out there.
Now, you've reached out to all of these programs?
I haven't got to reach out to all of them. Some of them have long waiting lists. And then a lot of them, they're kind of tapped out on funds. The need is great out there. People who need is pretty big, and a lot of organizations out there just don't have the resources to help everybody.
Would you talk to me a little bit about what your game plan is? Here you are at 42 years old trying to restart your life. What do you envision trying to do, hoping to do, maybe some goals that you have set for yourself?
Yeah. Well, obviously, for me right now is trying to secure some sort of health care to where I can get my blood pressure pills, my medications, my surgeries, my psych meds, and to get that kind of secure. Because if I'm not healthy, I definitely can't hold down a job.
You're no good to nobody.
No good to anyone. So if I got to get my health back in order. And part of that, getting my health back in order, is eating healthier and doing whatever movement, whatever walking, things that I can do to get healthy. I do my part too. Other than that, staying healthy is, of course, staying positive, reaching out. I reached out to you and Yonni. I reached out to a couple other people, and heck, here you are. So, man, you might think that because you did time with somebody, or you might think that because this person used to that, you never know who might help you. So I'm sitting here today on the prison show with a guy I used to be incarcerated with. And, not only is he probably helping me, but there's probably millions of viewers out there who are going through the same thing I'm going through. And because he's sitting here putting it on tape, it's touching you so that you won't know that you're not the only one out there going through it. So am I, so is he, and so is everyone else. It is a struggle out here. And sometimes, we all could use some support. And right now, I definitely need Joe's and Yonni's support.
Well, we're happy to be able to give this to you. And again, I want to do as much as I possibly can for you today to help you, because I know how desperately you need it. And I do want to see you succeed. I knew you from prison. You were a very outgoing, energetic, positive person in a negative situation. And to think that since then, you've dealt with so much more negativity, and to still be having the strength in yourself to sit here trying to keep an optimistic, open mind. I mean, that takes courage and strength inside of a person that I can't even imagine. So I want to say, first of all, to you, you're probably one of the strongest people that I've met, because of everything that you're dealing with, and also just trying to keep it together at all costs. You never want to go back to this place that you, me, Yonni, so many other people have spent so much time in, almost like a revolving door, almost like you get out here with so much stacked against you.
Yeah.
And you're still trying to keep it together to ensure that those last 2 years that you just served are going to be the last 2 years.
Absolutely.
I want to ask you a very honest question, though. And, what do you think of your chances out here right now? If you had to put it on as a percentage, 100% success rate, what do you think your percentage to succeed this time is?
Well, I'd have to say it's probably higher than it's ever been. For the simple fact that I see how fragile my health is, and that because of that, and we damn sure don't get health care in jail or prison.
No.
So if you got some serious health issues like myself, it's reminding me at this point, my life is short, man. And damn it, if I don't make the right choices now, when will I? When will I? I'm not young anymore. I can't get those years back. I mean, really. Sure, there's plenty of guys in prison older than me and you, man. But It doesn't have to be me. But you can do the right thing for 10 years, man, and make one bad choice and lose it all. You know that as well as I do.
So right now we've got Dave with us, who we're going to take to try to get him some clothes. And I also want to put some groceries in your house as well, because I can just imagine you guys probably don't have much of any food in there at all. But would you talk to me a little bit about who you live with?
I live with my mother right now, and my mother has various psychological issues and some addiction, substance abuse issues as well. And it's difficult, to say in the least, to deal with her at times. Between her issues and my issues, and the living situation, which is the only one that I have, is not pleasant at best.
With the addiction issues that your mother has, is this something that she's always dealt with? Does she go through bouts of sobriety, or has she just always been an addict?
My entire adult life, pretty much. When her money runs out towards the end of the month, it's not so bad. But once the check hits on the first of the month, it's full swing.
They got a Salvation Army store right there. I want to go in there and see what they have. Potentially we could get you some clothes in there. We're still going to hit Walmart, but that was a thought that I had anyways, is that maybe there would be some help for you there too. You know, I can't even imagine what it would be like to have to see your mother like that, dealing with addiction as bad as she probably is. Do you ever try to help her, motivate her, or do you feel like there's just nothing you can do at all?
Well, of course, I try to motivate her. I try to encourage her. And she simply states that, you know, she's grown and that she can do what she wants to do. And if I don't like it, get out of her house.
You remember how often we would talk, you know, at 11 o'clock, and we'd be talking to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, just be me and you, the only two guys up in the dorm or the unit. And, you know, it just, you know, you always, you know, describe you as as a big teddy bear. You know, you got a heart the size of King Kong, I said on the way over here to Joe. Man, I always, it's hard for me to understand exactly how you have this, this huge capacity for love when it seems like, your entire life you've just dealt with pain, neglect.
You can park anywhere,
abuse. Okay. I mean, do you have, what do you draw on to sort of, have you always been that way? Have you grown to become that way?
I'd like to say I've always been like that. And, I thought it was something unique to me. But it turns out from my studies that a lot of children of addicts, especially alcoholics, actually grow up with a lot of the same personality traits that I have.
Being genuine, caring.
Not necessarily being genuine and caring, but being open for any kind of attention, any kind of friendship, any kind of love.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It turns out that a lot of children that come from dysfunctional families don't always end up evil and angry and murderers, or they end up being people who find substances to make themselves feel better. They have relationships with women and men that are not the best for them because they just want to be loved. I've been in a lot of relationships with women because I just wanted someone to be there even when I knew it wasn't going anywhere, it wasn't a good relationship. I've had friendships with people that I knew weren't any good for me, but some friend was better than no friends. That's kind of the downfall of being someone like me and having a big heart like me too, because you'll accept friendship and attention from anybody almost.
Yeah, they actually arranged this stuff by, now this is you're gonna love this. Typically, they arrange it by color. They don't arrange it by size. So this is kind of like looking for a needle in a stack of
I'm looking for a size blue.
I mean, now this looks pretty big.
A size blue. Not even close.
Not even close?
We went to the thrift store. They didn't have a good selection of sizes, so we're gonna try out this Walmart and see if we can find some stuff for you. Try to get you some groceries, put some food in your house.
Do you ever visualize what you can be?
Yeah.
Or what you want to be?
Yeah.
What do you want to be?
Happy. More than anything else.
Do you know how to get there?
Sometimes I think I do, but I still think I got a lot of learning to go.
So with the way your living situation is right now with your mother, the fact that she deals with addiction, what do you see with the future of that? Obviously, you're probably not going to want to stay there. I mean, talk to me a little bit about what you see or hope for with the future of, where you're living at.
Well, my son's mother and my son live in Florida, and they're waiting for me to get on my feet, get off probation, and come down there with them. So that she's just waiting to see, because she's she's given me so many chances in the past. She just wants to make sure that I'm serious about staying out, and we are actually getting back together. I'm gonna finally reunite with my son and my son's mother. We have been together since 2003. I just got to get on my feet and get myself together and get enough money to go down there and move in with her.
And that right there alone sounds like a very hopeful situation for you, something that will give you a lot of hope, that probably does give you a lot of hope. What is probation like for you? Because I know you just briefly mentioned being on probation. How has probation been for you since being released, again, just a couple of days ago?
I've had to go there twice already, and I have to go see him again on the 22nd. I don't know if you know where Nemo Parkway is, Virginia Beach Courthouse.
Yeah, that's pretty far.
It's about a 3-hour bus ride from where I live.
Do you live in Virginia Beach?
I live right at the Virginia Beach, Chesapeake borderline.
Are they offering you any kind of help? Have they said, hey,
they
look?
gave me one all-day bus pass.
So you had bus fare for a day?
For one day.
And did they give you any indication like what you could possibly expect to accomplish in one day?
No.
What about mental health? I mean, you have some mental health issues. I think most people that have done time, whether there's garden variety issues and there's stuff that's a little more extreme. Dave, you're probably on the more extreme end of the spectrum, and that's certainly not to denigrate anyone that's dealing with with more complicated issues. But what sort of help is out there for you?
Right now, it remains yet to be seen. There's a lot of places that are claiming help. There's a lot of organizations that say they're there to help people, but the truth is a lot of them don't have the help, or they don't have the capacity. I mean, it's just like, look at the probation office. Your probation officer has 400 guys on their caseload. How possibly can they really give each individual parolee, probationer, the time they really need to try to really help them fit back into society? It's impossible.
Yeah.
Your caseload is too big.
Well, and this is my personal experience. I don't know if you've experienced this, because I had some, I have some issues as well in terms of dealing with social services when I got out. Yeah. I didn't have a lot of means, and I was looking to save money wherever I could, and in fact, I couldn't afford to pay $100 an hour to go see a psychiatrist and get medication for some of my issues. This is what they required of me. I had to go into 2 walk-in appointments. And so, there aren't appointments. It's a first come, first serve kind of deal, and generally you're waiting 3 to 4 hours. No, at the Chesapeake Social Services.
Yeah.
And when I finally got through the walk-in, the person that I saw was on a video screen. They were on a video screen.
Yeah.
Now, when you're asked, when you feel motivated, I mean, when you're dealing with, okay, I'm trying to tear pieces of my soul out, and present them and just lay them out there and to be as honest about me and where I'm at psychologically and all that stuff. And I'm expecting a person on the other end to, sort of look into my eyes and give me feedback, and provide me with a solution, or at least like a step to the solution. And I'm looking at someone who is looking at a webcam. Yeah. They're not even looking at me. They're trying to make eye contact with the webcam. And that's fine for the internet, whatever. It's fine, but when you're dealing with something as intense and as personal as something like that, I mean, it's an absolute embarrassment, man.
Well, I went to second chances. I went to stop, and I told them that I was in an extreme situation, and that I needed some money and food and bus passes immediately, and they gave me an old pair of pants and shirt that couldn't fit me, and they gave me a $10 voucher for Farm Fresh.
We got to get the card.
I got the card.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yonni the cat pusher over here. Hey guys, hey look, Ma, I've made it.
They got to have something in here. Let's see if we can find shirts and boxers and socks and stuff for you.
Yeah.
What'd they say? They don't have them?
No fit. Underwear here, though.
Yeah, so we can definitely get you your whites.
Does Burlington have 50s? Let me Google big and tall, man. These people are not helpful at all.
All right, let's find the whites. They got them? Well, damn, they said they just told Yonni they don't got 50s.
That's what I mean. These,
Will these fit you?
Yeah.
Well, let's get these.
It'd be nice to get you a pair of jeans, though.
Well, I mean, Dickies are definitely a start.
Yeah, oh, no, for sure.
Wrong with Dickies,
For sure. Hey, listen, if you're, if we get you a job,
We used to reuse the milk
we do
jug.
that.
I used to work in cleaning. I used to do prep.
That's a 50 right there. That's a 50,
So
30.
we get you a pair of khakis, man. You got any 50 khakis?
I try to wear darker colors because the light colors make you look even bigger than you are.
Oh, so you like the darker 50s make you look slimmer?
Yeah.
Let's get both of them. All right, so look, we found some pants, we found some socks, we found some boxers, we found some belts. We did not find shirts.
Yeah.
And you know, we were just talking about this earlier. Yonni brought this up. You know, you don't even realize how hard it is to find sizes when you are a bigger person.
No, I mean, I just, you know, me as a very average sized dude, I mean, I pick it right off the rack and it fits, and, you know, I'm just, you know, I'm lucky that way, but I had no idea
Yes.
that you just don't have any fashion options. I mean, the only thing we found are black pants, blue pants, and then white stuff. I mean, you know.
Well, we still need to find some t-shirts for you, but now we're gonna try to find some food. We're gonna definitely get some groceries for you. So I want you to just talk to me about what you want, what you need, and whatever we can get to help you. We're gonna fill this card up and get you some groceries, man.
All right. Thank you, Joe.
So the craziest thing about this is you know, we're sitting here trying to get Dave some groceries.
Yeah.
And like, this is the most humble person that I've ever met in my life, because I told him, I said, man, just go ahead and fill this card up. And he's like, no. I got a little bit of food from the church. And, you know, just the humbleness of this guy.
I know, I can't even talk him into getting some cod or a steak, or, I mean, think about it, you know, you haven't really indulged in eating what you wanted to eat in years.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think it really speaks to, this is my own personal theory, but I think people either go one of two ways. They either indulge in everything, and that's why you get so many guys coming out of jail and ODing, or just, you know, just experiencing everything, doing a bunch of drugs.
So you're talking about like compulsive nature.
Right, well, yeah, so you either go one, it lends itself to extremes. You either indulge, you either go way over the top, or you're like Dave, and you've been conditioned to live on the bare minimum. And so it's very difficult for him to. It's recording us, so you've been conditioned to behaviorally over time through repetition.
So he's like institutionalized.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you came home to the future when you come to Walmart and you see something like that. A guy on a Segway, or whatever you call it.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we just left Walmart. We got you some groceries. We got you some pants, some socks, some boxers, a belt. And again, you know, we would have filled this damn cart up for you. I just never seen anybody as humble as you.
Oh man, I mean, I haven't met nobody since I've been out that want to help me as much as you guys.
Well, it's honestly the least that we can do. And if we
Really
can do
appreciate it.
more, I really hope that we're able to do that.
Yeah, man.
Dave, talk to me a little bit about what your day-to-day life is like since being released this time.
Man, my day-to-day life since getting out has been just making it, you know, pretty much hour by hour, day by day. Like I said, I got some serious health issues. Like right now, I'm out of freaking medication. All right, I mean, I haven't had my blood pressure medicine all day. I got a medical health appointment tomorrow, which doesn't mean I'm going to see a doctor, but because I just got out of jail, they're going to give me free doctor visits for a year. When I do get to a doctor, then I'll be able to get a script, or a script for my psych meds and my blood pressure pills. But then I got to go to the church and get a voucher and for them to pay for the medication. So, I mean, you know, it's just a process of bouncing around, calling here, calling there. If you don't have a support system, you know, you can make it. Don't be discouraged, but man, don't think it's going to be easy, because it's not.
And you were talking a little bit about how you spend a lot of time on the phone calling churches, trying to get any kind of help that you can from them as well.
Yeah, because, you know, look, you know, there is help out there, okay? You gotta reach out there and get it, though. You know, I'm not saying there's a lot of help out there, but there is some help out there, and whatever you need to do to try to get it, you need to do it. And that's what I'm doing. I spend a lot of time on the phone calling people, seeing what I can get from them, what kind of help, what kind of assistance I can get from them.
What about the phone that you have? Like, talk to me, how do you even have a phone?
The phone that I have, actually, and my coat, was actually a gift from me from my ex-fiance, whose house she was over earlier. She bought it for me. So if I did not have a phone, I don't know what I'd do. And as a matter of fact, as cold as it's been, I don't know what I would have done without this coat either. But there has been a couple people who have tried to help me. My son's mother sent me $30, and my ex-fiance bought me this coat, gave me this phone, and when I first came out, she gave me a big pack of chicken, a steak, a frying pan, some grease. You know, so I mean, I can't say I was completely, you know, not without help. I did get some help from people. But if it wasn't for those couple people that helped me out, I don't know. I really don't know, man. Especially with the weather we've been having and the way that my health has been, I really don't know. It's just a blessing that I'm here, and I'm trying to count the blessings that I do have. And then now being part of this After Prison project, you know, this After Prison show right now, and the blessings that I received through Joe and the show, and my friend Yonni here, I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd probably be a little bit, you know, on the edge. A matter of fact, if I didn't see Joe today, I'd probably be at the plasma center trying to give up some plasma today, so that I had bus fare for the week. Which I still have to go to the plasma center tomorrow anyway, but but I'm still gonna, you know, that's what I'd have been doing today. I'd have been at the plasma center.
Have you ever considered, like, any of these halfway houses? Do you have any? Has that ever been a consideration for you?
Yeah, I've been to a halfway. When you get released from the jail, you can't go to a halfway house.
No, that's absolutely right.
Unless you go to like an Oxford house.
Have you ever considered Oxford House?
Yeah, you still got to have $125 a week. You know, and you still got to be healthy enough to work and all that. And I don't, you know, plus on top of that, my mom is my mom. And my mom, she can't barely get around, and she does need my help. So, I mean, you know, even though it's not the most pleasant situation, you know, my mom does need my help. And even though my mom has issues, that's my mother. I still love my mother, and I'll still help her. Yeah, she didn't have a bed for the whole 2 years I was incarcerated. So I found a bed out in the trash during a snowstorm. I brought that into her. She already pissed through it already. Look,
This is 140 right here.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give you this in front of her.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, just in case, you know, she's trying to
Yeah.
get money from you or anything like that. I mean, it's not a hell of a lot right
It is
now,
a
but
lot.
I'm telling
That's
you,
a lot, man.
I want to be able to help you a lot more than just this thus far. Dave, I want to ask you, do you have any words that you want to leave everybody with?
Yeah. There's a scripture in the Bible that says the plans of the man are many, but the ways of the Lord are in the end. Man, you can plan for this all you want in prison. You can make plans all you want. You're gonna do this, you can do that, you're gonna do this, you can do that. But when you get out here and you face this real world, that's when it gets real. So make sure you're prepared for only what you can prepare for, and be prepared most of all for what you cannot prepare for. You don't never know what life's gonna throw at you. You never know if you're gonna be healthy tomorrow or the next day. You never know if that person who's been there for you, your backbone, might pass away. You don't never know. If you think life's hard now, think of how hard it can get if something else happens. I just wish the next man well, and I hope that someone blesses the next man like I've been blessed today.